The second semi-final of the FIFA World Cup 2022 took place yesterday, and both teams won something. One won a place in the final, the other won hearts. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think the kind of impact that Morocco has been able to leave on the world of football, and for a lot of football fans, I would say like it's been a dream journey for them, but like it has been beautiful for us as football fans to be able to watch them achieve what they did for the entire continent and not just for like their nation.
But looking at the scoreline, well deserved lead up front, but yeah, would you think that, having watched the game closely, do you think that Morocco deserved something in this game? They were challenging France all through the second half. Yes, of course, they were sort of outclassed in the first half. They were caught napping as well, I would say, early on in the first 5 to 10 minutes. But they deserved something out of this game?
They did, because if you look at the stats, both of them had equal number of shots on target, both of them had equal number of attacks, and both of them had even equal number of shots when it comes to it. So I feel like both the teams did really well when it came to attacking. It's just that Morocco failed to put the ball at the back of the net, and I think that is what cost them. And we even witnessed a beautiful bicycle kick towards the end and in the second half, and I feel like had that been converted, like there would have been something to take forward, probably one of the best goals of the tournament, if not the win. So I feel like Morocco, the result doesn't really justify what the performances were like, but yes, I feel like Morocco was caught by shock right at the beginning because the first goal came too early in the game, and for them it was just too hard to come out of that pressure and come out of that shock.
But would you feel that France, of course, they've had a stellar run in this tournament. Apart from that loss against Tunisia that they had to face, let's not forget they made plenty of changes back then. But barring that, they did just enough on the night to secure a place in the final. That's what champions do.
Of course, and I feel like for them it was about getting the goal, being comfortable in the game. Although Morocco did not let that happen for them, but it was about getting the win and reaching the finals. I think that was the main objective for them, to be there. And I feel like to reach the finals consecutively, second time in a row, I think that's a big achievement, because again, road to the World Cup final is a long one when it comes to qualifiers, when it comes to group stages. So I feel like they've been able to do what is needed, and that is like score goals and get the win.
And once you do reach that all-important final, there's a lot at play. Yes, there's a lot of history, there's a lot to play for, but what's also at play is a lot of mind games, and certainly the French coach has already started with his mind games. He was asked in the post-match press conference if Karim Benzema, the current Ballon d'Or holder, can play in the final, to which he responded by saying that I don't really want to answer that question. Next question, please. I do apologize. So mind games already, and I'll tell you why, because he could have chosen to deny those reports of Benzema being fit for the final, but he chose to not answer the question instead. You read something over there.
For me, I feel like there could be various reasons. First of all, it could be that he probably did not want to take the attention away from what France had achieved, the win, especially the players who have been fighting it out, the players who are playing, and that it is their second consecutive final. So I feel like that could have been one of the reasons to not really say anything, because that would have shifted a lot of focus just on one player who hasn't really been a part because of the injury. And secondly, you never know if Benzema even does show up on the field or on the bench. I'm pretty sure the entire world is going to be taken by shock, and especially the football fans, because we did want to see him in this World Cup edition after the kind of performances he's had. But it's been a tough ride for him as a player, but I think there are other players who stepped up and they've been able to do a great job.
But let me now put you in the spot. If you were in the boots of Didier Deschamps, you've got Olivier Giroud and Kylian Mbappe up front, does that leave you with any space? And let's say if you have to take that call, they, by the way, together have scored 9 goals in totality. Who do you replace if you had to? If you would bring in Karim Benzema, one of them will have to start on the bench. Who would that be for you?
I think for me as a manager, if I have maintained a team throughout a tournament, I would not make any changes. I would be comfortable, because I feel like
you'd be comfortable having a fit Karim Benzema on the bench.
Oh yeah, definitely, because I feel like he would not really be able to fit in, because he would be caught off guard, because not having played a single game, he doesn't really know what to expect in the kind of intensity, because coming back from injury, being able to put in a game straight away and not being exposed to that kind of intensity for, let's say, like a month, because he's had the injury for around a month, I feel like it would be more of a disadvantage. It would probably do more harm to the French team than do good. So for me, if I was the manager, I wouldn't really put him, because the team has been able to achieve what they want and they've been able to win all of their games, score the goals. So I feel like I don't see any other need, to make any special changes just for the need, because again, final match, right? It's an important one, so you wouldn't want to take that risk.
Well, yes, they have achieved most of the things that they would have wanted to achieve at this stage of the World Cup, but they're really here to achieve something more than just these wins, and that's the all-important trophy, that glistening trophy that they proudly hold at the moment, and they don't want to give it away to anyone else. But can Brazil and Italy get some company in this elite list of teams who only managed to do it once earlier? It is Italy who managed it in 1934 and 38, Brazil in 58 and 62. In 2018 it was the French who lifted the World Cup. Can they do it again in 2022? We know what your gut feel is, but let's just face it, it's a strong team, and do they have it in them to get there and of course give company to Italy and Brazil and be just the third team to win back-to-back titles?
Since the start of this World Cup, I've always said that the French, walking into this tournament, they've been a very clinical and very technical side, and they have probably the most amount of pace in the team and the most amount of speed and skill in their team. So if we look at it, there's a big possibility that they could win their second consecutive final, and again, there would be no surprises to that because of the kind of performances they've been able to put. It's just that the heart wants what it wants, right? So yeah, that is why you want to root for Messi and you want to root for his one last dream. But again, we know what France is capable of. We know France is a big threat, and they've got probably the best strikers in the world up front. So yes, it's a possibility, and on a given day, again, anybody can win and anybody can lose. So I think we'll probably have to wait for the final game to see what happens.
We'll have to wait and watch what the final holds on Sunday at the Lusail Stadium. We'll get an answer whether or not Brazil and Italy have company in this elite list, and can France go ahead and defy what the world exactly wants right now, which is Leo Messi with that trophy. For now, that's all the time that we have. That was DALIMA CHHIBBER, the Indian footballer, alongside me. My name is Harshit Ahuja. Thank you so much for tuning into Sports Today.